UTTC Housing Admissions and Occupancy Coordinator Angel Young joined the Native American Women Warriors, and along with others from the group, she talks about what the Warriors stand for and their excitement about walking in the inaugural parade.
It's on the left, you're married. If it's on the right, you're single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My name is Julia Kelly. I'm from the Army, and I'm Northern Traditional.
I'm Micheline Big Man, U.S. Army, and I dance jingle.
I'm Sarah Baker, United States Marine Corps, old style fancy shawl and jingle dress.
Oh.
Act like they'll like me.
No. He said, I was laughing. Pretend I'm your best friend. How it actually started was, Julie knows is that when I make jingle dresses, sometimes I put my combat patches on there and my rank. So I took it a little bit step further, and there was 3 of us. I'm actually the original of the first 3, where I made us red, white, and blue, and the Cheyenne pink, I think it is, the Cheyenne pink, crow pink. I say Indian pink just to cover everybody across the board. But what it was I had the same main designs. I placed them different, put our combat patches, unit patches, the United States Army patch on there, the American flag. And what happened during Denver March, I had made these 3 dresses, and it was a lady by the name of Camille Claremont. When we were getting ready for grand entry, she had asked us about the dresses, and I told her, I said, well, we're veterans. And she was the one that said, well, how come you're not in the color guard? And I told her, I said, we're not in uniform. And she said, but the specifics of your dress is so unique, and your veterans, she goes, she was kind of more the one that really pushed it. We didn't think anything about it. It was Saturday night, I remember that. And I said, okay, it's time for grand entry, girls. So we went down, getting ready for grand entry, and here comes Chico, her many horses. Comes running across the arena. I'm like, is he running towards us? And he handed us this yellow tablet, and I was filling it out, and he said, I need your branch of service, your rank, the nations you represent, and then he asked us for the name of our color guard. And that's when I had stopped, and I said, I'm sorry, there seems to be a misunderstanding. We're not a color guard. And right away he said the same thing Camille said, but your dresses. And I'm like, I just made 3 jingle dresses. So he goes, no, we're going to put you in with the color guard. And he had asked, he goes, and I told him, I said, well, we don't have a name because our intention is not to be a color guard. So he said, well, what campaign? I said, Iraqi Freedom. Me and Cindy were deployed. Tony, she became mobilized when the war had kicked off because she was reserved. Well, she's reserved. So right away he said, okay, well, we'll call you the Army Women's Iraqi Freedom Veterans. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, because for some reason I'm like, it's not going anywhere after this. This might be our only time. Because being Native American women alone, we're just kind of not saying, we're not pushed to the forefront, we're kind of like to the back. And as veterans, it's even more so, even with the non-natives, it's the same way. So what it was Chico Hermeni Horses said, we're going to put you last. And my first reaction, like, yeah, figures. But, and people laugh because my reaction was like, yeah, figures are going to put us last. But I have to honestly say that was the best place to put us. And the gentleman, the MC at the time was Lawrence Baker. When they named all the other color guards and we stepped forward, you could tell we were in the military because all of us just stepped off with our left. They're like, man, look, they're all in sync. And we're like, that's something normal for soldiers. You step off with your left no matter what. And Lawrence Baker, first he teased us and he goes, what do we have here? This is the most prettiest color guard I ever seen. So by then we're cheesing and we're all, we're kind of like smiling. And then that's when he had mentioned, he said, in all my 25 years being an MC, he goes, today history has been made. And we couldn't figure out what he was talking about. He says, we have our first all-female Native American color guard recognized. And that's when the drums were going, the war cries, the Lulus, and we just like froze. I was like, we did not expect that at all.
My name is Angel Young, and I am the Admissions and Occupancy Coordinator for the Housing Department at United Tribes Technical College. I am a color guard member for the Native American Women Warriors. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and what we do is we bring recognition to all Native American women warriors, past, present, and future.
At the women's conference in Washington State, that's where we was at, was Native Network, and they had a women's conference, and And then that's where someone tried to give Mish some money. And she said, no, I can't take that.
Yeah.
And then that's when they were like, we need to get you all to go nonprofit.
Profit.
So they were on us for about a year.
Because the charter that I created, the mission statement was to surface the recognition of women warriors and their contribution to the military. And then the vision statement was to empower our Native American women warriors in whether it's education, health, and employment. And that's what our vision statement is. And then they just kind of took it from there and they said, well, by going nonprofit, you might be able to be either a resource or an outreach. And that's when we're like, okay, yeah, because we did come across, especially not only just the POWs, but Native country alone, and then all of us experiencing it as women veterans, is that we're kind of overlooked because we are not mainstream America. Native Americans, for some reason, the media thinks that we have everything when we don't. And then our focus was towards those women warriors that served, sacrificed, but need the assistance. They need that help, and they're not getting it because a lot of them are in rural areas, reservations, and that's where we need to reach out. And a lot of them aren't aware of some of the benefits that they are entitled to.
We got the formal invitation shortly after Christmas that we were asked to march. And we have at least 50 members nationwide, and 10 of us were selected to go. I will be carrying the United States Army flag since I was in the United States Army. That's the flag that I've been designated to carry. I'm having such a blast. I've been able to meet all the other members. Looking forward to is just the rush from just being out there, bringing recognition to Native Americans. Not only that, to women warriors, also to United Tribes, also to North Dakota.
Look, what they're going to see and what they're going to look for is they're going to look at a uniformity as far as dress is concerned, and being precise in movement, and also being in harnesses and gloves and properly carrying the flags.
Mm-hmm. There are times we've done it without flags and we've danced in, but we still dance in step. Yes, and we had our hand fans, so a lot of times it was just like, we never did the crazy, the switch,
No,
but we all danced in. Whether it was traditional, we danced in jingle, we were all in step. Still the same thing. So we've done it with or without the flags.
Also, they will, with the jingle dress, it's a flashy, noisy dress. And on the back of it has the emblems of what branch of service that you are from. So that normally captures everybody's eyes, is that big patch on the back, as to what they represent. So get stopped a lot, when you're walking by, or when you go out there to color guard, and then they see it, and then they'll start running to you when you're getting ready to come off, just shake your hand and take your pictures and stuff. And so we've gotten used to, for the last year, when you finish color guarding, we're used to just standing there for 15 to 30 minutes because people want to take pictures.
If anybody has any further questions or any information that you would like to about the Native American Women Warriors, we do have a website. It is www.nativeamericanwomenwarriors.org.
Angel said after the parade she was overwhelmed with amazement, pride, and honor. It was definitely an opportunity of a lifetime, and she couldn't imagine a better turnout.